Yokoso, 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 arigato gozaimasu, or should I say, bienvenue, bienvenue, bienvenue. Welcome, one and all, to the Stadia Monday Night Chat, episode 125. I hope you're good. I hope you are all well. A big shout out to everybody there waiting at the front door for me to throw them open. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Lovely to see you all. We have a packed show tonight as ever. All the Stadia news. We're going to also be looking at some up and coming gaming events. May or may not be hearing some sort of Stadia related news from those. What are the chances of that? And some potential big games coming to Stadia as well. And as I said, all the Stadia news and all of that. As ever, make sure, let's get the housekeeping out of the way. Make sure that you, well, first of all, you say hello in the chat. It is the Stadia Night Chat. You are playing the crucial role of the part of chat. So I want your best auditions in there. Get in the chat, say hello to everybody and all of that. Make sure you hit the likes before you forget. I know what it's like. You're watching the show, you're enjoying the show, and you completely forget to hit the likes. Well, I'm reminding you, hit the likes because I like it. YouTube likes it. And, you know, it's meant to help find, help people like you find good content like this. I sometimes wonder, but, we can but keep trying. And if you are new here, hey, hit that subscribe button. Yeah. Toggle that notification bell. And then you'll know when I go live every week, 10 p.m. Stadia Monday Night Chat, Monday nights, of course. Anyway, as ever, it was Stadia Pro week last week. So we got our Stadia Pro titles. So I would love to know which of those titles you have played, which sort of tickled your fancy, as it were, and all of that. Put that in the chat and we can have a look. Of course, any big games coming up in Stadia or any games you've been playing and all of that. I've been playing that. I'll come to the Stadia Pro titles after we visited chat, but just to say, I went back to, I was in the mood for a bit of Chicken Police, Paint It Red, which was one of like many games I'd started but not finished, but I went back to it, finished it. Great. Loved it. More of that, please. I want the sequel. Bring it to Stadia and all of that. Anyway, as ever, let's dive into the mosh pit. That is the early bird chat to see who's in there and all of that, what you've been doing, etc., etc. Straight in there. What's up? What's up, peoples? It's the Dave. It's the Dave. Dave, I shall be playing some, well, Lord Kensal should be playing some FIFA 23 when it comes out at the end of the month and all of that. So look out for that. Ray, as ever, they seek him here, they seek him there. Well, he's everywhere. The lovely Ray. Inled, good to see you. Suarez, hey, everyone. Welcome back, Clive. I hope you had a good break in France. I did. Thank you very much. No Calais crossing nightmares for me, thank God. I flew. Yeah, well, my arms are tired now. No, I flew there. Yeah, I want to be back there. I want to be back there, not on holiday, but like permanently, to be honest. But that's another story. Yeah, maybe another YouTube channel in the future. Who knows? Jamie, how are you? Good to see you. Scooterama. Still in France. Good to hear. Good. Yeah, you look after the place for me, Scooterama. Francisco Suarez was kicking the door in, waiting for the show. Nice to hear, of course. I did have a nice holiday. Lots of Octopath Traveler right now. 65 hours. Epic game. Not my kind of thing, but hey, Chris Lamb, how are you? Hello from the chat indeed. Mustar. Shogun Assassin. Try it. Try what? I missed it. See what happens. Yeah. What? Hit the like, see what happens. Subscribe, see what happens. I don't know. I dare you. Yeah, do it. Not tried the pro games yet. One game at a time for me. God, Dave, you're dedicated. I like that. All of that. Anyway, as I said, Stadia Pro games. Yes, I've been playing Yars Recharged. Just like Centipede, very addictive. Just drop in, drop out. I'm liking that a lot. A bit of Tri-6 Infinite. Again, I think those sort of games that have a leaderboard are quite addictive because you just want to keep improving. It's a strange game, Tri-6 Infinite, but strangely addictive. It seems a bit slow, but still it's quite tough, which is odd. St. Christopher 2021. Hey, Clive, I presume that's wait to hear about new game titles come to Stadia. It's all right. Too late, Saint. I read it. Apologies, Saint. I know what you mean. I know what you meant and all of that. So, yeah, I haven't tried Spiritfarer. I never bought it first time round. So that's a new game for me. I may have a little go of that tonight, but let me know what you think. And I tend not always to do the outright games. Sometimes I get round to it, but there we go. I want to know what these new features are that this dev has recently spoken of. Well, I think, as I said in France, don't expect anything wham bam, thank you, ma'am. I think they're the sort of features that at first you just think, well, whatever, personally, but I think they'll have greater implications. Just put it there, but we'll find out soon enough. I'm sure we will. Hey, Petter Games, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. I tell you what, talking of features, talking all of that, why don't we catch up on all the Stadia news of the week, ladies and gentlemen? Dave Widnall says Spiritfarer is good, Clive. That's what I've heard, Dave. That's what I've heard. So I'm thinking I may dive into that after the show tonight. Anyway, without further ado, let us go to Clive in the Stadia News studio. Clive, you ready? Yeah? Okay. It's over to Clive in the Stadia Monday Night Chat News studio. Clive, take it away. Thanks, Clive. Welcome to the Stadia Monday Night Chat News for the 5th of September, 2022. Straight into games now, and games coming to Stadia, and we start with a Bring It to Stadia success story. Now, we featured hashtag Bring It to Stadia projects on the Stadia Monday Night Chat before, so it's great to see it being recognised by Google Stadia themselves. Stadia tweeted out that Outbreak Contagious Memories is coming to Stadia thanks to Bring It to Stadia campaign. And of course, Outbreak Shades of Horror playable teaser is also available on Stadia. The tweet by Stadia coincides with the Kickstarter launch of Outbreak Shades of Horror by Dead Drop Studios. At the time of this recording, it's already over the halfway mark in terms of its Kickstarter initial target. So if you're interested in backing it, check out the Kickstarter page, where of course there's a clickable demo, so we can get the full game on Stadia. The developer is a great advocate for the Stadia tech and engineering, as seen in a recent stream. I would show you clips, but it's a little bit sweary. But rest assured, he is super impressed by what he's seen in terms of not only the Stadia tech, the Stadia engineering, but the support and enthusiasm from the Stadia team that helped him get the demo onto Stadia. Whilst we've seen game demos on Stadia before, this is the first time a click-to-play of a demo has been utilised, and it's a great use of that click-and-play functionality. Outright games now, and the games keep coming. Yes, you didn't know you needed this game in your life, but you're getting it. Coming soon to Stadia, JoJo Siwa Worldwide Party. The blurb reads, "You're invited to JoJo Siwa's Worldwide Party. Lace up your high-top shoes and run through JoJo's world, listening along to her biggest hits, including DREAM and Bop and Non-Stop. Complete levels as JoJo to perform special dance routines. Can you match the rhythm and make the crowd go wild? I know you can." Just reading the blurb. Another kids game now coming is Paw Patrol Grand Prix. The Paw Patrol are on their fastest mission yet, to win the Pop Cup, where no track is too big, no racer too small. Race around Adventure Bay, Jake's snowboarding resort, and the jungle as the Paw Patrol pops and up to 4 players at once. But look out for the obstacles left by mischievous Mayor Humdinger. This kart racer includes an easy control option for the little ones with auto acceleration to guide them around the track, as well as, of course, a hard mode for those experienced Mario Kart hardcore. Atari now, and Atari's been teasing us with Stadia news over the last week, and on the Atari Recharge page, Gravitar Recharged has Stadia listed as one of the platforms. So, given all this teasing from Atari, mark this one down as coming soon. Defeat the deadly G-forces as you pilot your ship through treacherous terrain. Engage or avoid the alien menace as you seek to destroy the reactor core. Team up with a friend and face the challenge together. And more Snowtopia now. As previously highlighted on this show before, this was certified on PEGI, and now it's been certified on Stadia for ESRB, meaning its launch is imminent. So watch this space. Ubisoft now, and Ubisoft has officially announced Assassin's Creed Mirage. This is ahead of the Ubisoft Forward reveal later this week. This follows a leak about the game. In a tweet, Ubisoft stated that Assassin's Creed Mirage is the next Assassin's Creed game, and they can't wait to tell us more on September the 10th at the Ubisoft Forward Event. At the Ubisoft Forward Event, we can expect to hear more news on forthcoming games from Ubisoft and maybe some dates on Heartlands and X-Defiant, etc. There's been some leaks and rumours about Heartlands being announced at Ubisoft Forward. These were games that were expected to launch this year. So mark your diary, as we're sure to get some Stadia-related game news from this Ubisoft event. Want more point-and-click games? Of course you do. Well, we could have more on the way from Legacy Games. The point-and-click adventure publisher previously brought us Adam Wolf and City Legends to Stadia. Well, according to their website, it looks like Twin Mind and Looking for Aliens have also been earmarked for Stadia. This is in an article on stadiadosage.com that spotted it on their website. In a sign that gaming direct from your TV is being increasingly normalised, thanks to cloud gaming apps, LG have revealed that they are expanding their gaming experience on its latest TVs. They're adding a gaming shelf in a newly updated UI, where users will be able to find a range of popular cloud gaming services on the home screen. NVIDIA GeForce titles are already accessible from this gaming shelf, and the ability to access games from Google Stadia via that same shelf will be added to LG TV in future updates. So let us know if you spot those games on that new LG TV gaming shelf. And that's the Stadia news for the week. So it's back to Clive, live in the Stadia Monday Night Studio. Clive, it's back to you. Thanks, Clive. Well, there you go. That was the Stadia news for the week. I just wanted to update you on a couple of things. So, which one should we start with? Why don't we start with Heartlands? The Division Heartlands game. So Clive mentioned in the news that there had been rumours that Heartlands was coming soon and that they would talk about it at the Ubisoft Forward event later this week. Well, since the news, we've had confirmation that this is the case, ladies and gentlemen. Here in a tweet from the official Division 2 Twitter account, it says, agents, we'll see you at Ubi Forward on September the 10th for updates on Division 2, Heartland and Resurgence. So, yes, they will be talking about Heartland, Division 2 Heartland, which is, of course, a free-to-play game, team-based multiplayer. My brain went dead there. I apologize. Team-based multiplayer kind of battle royale typey thing from Ubisoft, free-to-play game, basically, which is always good. Coming to Stadia, of course, we know that that's been confirmed. So maybe we're getting a date on that. Maybe we're getting a date on Heartland coming to Stadia, which will be exciting if we are, at least an update. So it's been in beta testing and development, etc. And maybe also, as I say, XDefiant as well, which have been in beta testing. I can't wait for Heartland. I'm looking. It's one of the games sort of I'm looking forward to. We need more free-to-play kind of, adult games like that. I call them adult games, but you know what I mean? Shooters like that, I think, on the platform. We've not had one for a while that's, a multiplayer one like that. So looking forward to that. Let me know in the comments and all of that. And then the other bit of news that we touched on, now I couldn't find the exact source that stadiadosage.com used for the legacy games thing. So legacy games, obviously, point and click games. Let's just go here. And in the Stadia Dosage headline, it did seem to sort of show 2 unannounced games coming to Stadia. In the Twin Minds and Looking for Aliens. They were the 2 games, Twin Minds and Looking for Aliens. I've done a bit of scratching around on the site as I was trying to find the same source that they had. And a while ago, this is back in August, they did confirm we have 2 new Stadia games coming out in October and December. So stay tuned for more information on those. So it sounds like, based on what stadiadosage.com are reporting, that those 2 new games coming to Stadia in October and December are looking like being Twin Minds and Looking for Aliens. Let's just there we go. Looking for Aliens looks a weird game. It looks like you sort of just, that is, I put in the wrong thing. Bear with mine. It doesn't come up there. Anyway, I did have the trailer earlier on. Anyway, and it basically, you sort of click and move things to try and find the aliens by the looks of things. Very strange, weird click and point game. But anyway, so if you're into those click and point mysteries and the click and point games that legacy games specialize in, then it looks like we're getting them in October and December this year. So probably 2 other games on the kind of probably coming to Stadia, along with, as I say, the announcement of Heartlands, which we'll find more about whether it is coming out this year. Fingers crossed it is coming out. XDefiant and Heartlands were meant to be coming out this year. So let's hope they're not another bunch of titles that have been kicked into next year, but you never know. But they're going to be talking about it at the Ubisoft Forward Event later this week. So I just wanted to touch on those 2 things. And talking of gaming events, we're not done with the gaming events, ladies and gentlemen. I did come across a whole list and I can't find them all, but it's worth noting that we've got some interesting gaming events coming up. One is this. NIS America have got a gaming event coming up. NIS America, of course, bring us the JRPGs like Eves 8 and Ys 9, Monstrum Nox, Ys 8, Lacrimosa of Dana, and things like that. So those sort of JRPG games, they seem to have the licensing and distribution rights in America. NIS have them in America and in Europe. So fingers crossed, there's some JRPG game announcements at the NIS America show event showcase. That's on September the 7th, ladies and gentlemen. That's September the 7th. Then we have the Tokyo Game Show. So this is much more of a bit like Gamescom, a bit like E3. So a mix of it's business. It's business. and publishers and developers. We know that Stadia representatives have been at previous game shows, indie game shows in Tokyo, because that new game that is coming, Gravestone, what was it called? Dungeons by Way of Gravestones, or whatever it was called, Japanese indie developer, met a Stadia representative at an Tokyo indie game show, and that's why he's bringing the game to Stadia. So just as representatives of Stadia were at Gamescom, over 20 of them, or at least 20 Stadia reps were at Gamescom in a couple of weeks ago, doing business. The fruits of which hopefully we'll start to see next year, maybe if we're lucky, some of it this year. But you could probably bank on Stadia being represented, albeit necessarily behind the scenes, but being represented at the Tokyo Game Show, which is, as I say, coming up in September as well. So that's another one to look out. So this one's a trade show. So I'm just going to mention some of these shows. Some of these are like publisher announcement shows, which is good. Some of them are trade shows where you'd expect Stadia to be represented somehow behind the scenes, etc. And some are more sort of public orientated shows, although sometimes those tend to showcase indie shows, indie games and things like that, which are quite interesting. So things like Pack West, which is going on right now, is ending actually now. And they tend to have a few kind of indie showcase there and a few indie reveals, but it tends to be more of a sort of a cultural public event, Pack West. A bit similar to, he says, EGX, which is also coming up. Again, this is much more, there's a bit of industry networking going on here as well, but it's also for the public, and there are panels and stuff like that, creators, press. So a bit of promotion going on, maybe some announcements and stuff like that. But there you go. All sorts of things. So it's just interesting that even in the month of September, there's a few events, gaming events going on. No guarantee that there's be Stadia news out of that, but there will be opportunities for Stadia to be talking with developers, publishers at all of these, all over the world. There may be, some of these, as I say, like NIS America. We know they bought a whole handful of games on Stadia. Hopefully, in the announcements that they make at their showcase, they bring some games. And of course, the big one, ladies and gentlemen, is Ubisoft Forward, which we know will have an impact in terms of Stadia news and games. Even if it's just updates on games we know that are already coming, but hopefully some dates, firm dates, and more information on things like the Assassin's Creed Mirage, which I believe is set in sort of Baghdad or something like that. But there you go. I just thought I'd just highlight some game shows coming up where there may be an opportunity for people to interact with Stadia, where there may be an opportunity for reps from Stadia to be present. We'll try and find out if they're going to any of these, and I will, do my best to let you know if I hear anything, in the streets, as it were, down the old bars. If I hear that Stadia are there, I'll let you know for sure, and all of that. So there we go. That I just thought I'd update you on some of those things and let you know kind of what's going on in the world of Stadia and gaming events, up and coming, and all of that, ladies and gentlemen. Now, also in the Stadia news, Clive mentioned brain's gone dead. Drop Dead Studios, of course, and their Kickstarter for Contagion. Contagion? Mine's gone dead today. Anyway, Evan from Drop Dead Studios, who is, of course, doing the Kickstarter, had a little diatribe, which we couldn't show in the news because a bit too much sweary going on. However, one second. Well, breaking news. Oh, no. Somebody sent me some breaking news. It's not really breaking. Do you want to see this breaking news? It's Stadia news. Breaking news. Somebody just sent me this before I go into the Evan diatribe. This is... Okay, not really news, but if you're interested, check this out. Get your own Stadia flag and hang it out your house. There we are. Yeah. Google Stadia gaming house flags. Is this anybody we know selling Stadia merch unofficially? Anyway, you can get your own flag. Yeah. Who knew? Who knew whether you needed your own Stadia flag? Hardly breaking news, but it just came through on my WhatsApp. Thank you, Yoshida. I'm sure the viewers are super stoked that they can now buy a Stadia flag. Maybe we can raise the flag on our kind of French chateau when we buy it, our French castle when we buy it. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Anyway, so back to Evan, Drop Dead Studios. So Evan was streaming his new streaming various games in an attempt to sort of promote the Kickstarter. Let's just get to it. Bear with me. Outbreak, brain gone dead. Yeah. So Evan here, who is bringing us Outbreak Contagious Memories and Outbreak Shades of Horror, was streaming, I think it was streaming Resident Evil, but in an attempt to bring some attention to the fact that Outbreak Shades of Horror is a Kickstarter. And he started talking about what it's like working with Stadia. Now, bear in mind that in April this year, he didn't even really know what Stadia was. And cut to now, and he's launched a Kickstarter, which has raised half its target already, has launched a click-to-play demo, and is bringing on Stadia, and is bringing Outbreak Contagious Memories to Stadia as well. So he's porting games, and he's developing a game that he's going to bring to Stadia, all within the space of not really knowing what Stadia was until the Stadia community, yeah, somebody within the Stadia community introduced him to Stadia. And so it's been a bit of a, what we say, a kick bollock scramble, as we say delightfully in the UK, for him to kind of get to this stage. So it required a lot of help and support from the Stadia team, the Stadia engineering. But in a stream, Evan from Drop Dead Studios waxed, Dead Drop Studios. I apologize, Evan, at Dead Drop Studios, waxed lyrical about the amazing support that he's had from the Stadia team. But also he went on a massive rant. Evan diatribe, which I will play to you. This is the non-sweary bit. But just to sort of highlight, so the wonderful John Four Scars Gaming, so John replayed bits of the video and gave it some context and talked about it. I highly recommend, if you don't want to watch the whole of Evan's stream, it's a sort of a long stream, And he goes in hard. I have to be honest, he goes in hard on all the naysayers about Stadia from the perspective of a developer who's seen under the bonnet. And he is shocked by then the naysayers that he kind of sees on Reddit and Twitter and whatever. He's seen the incredible tech that is under the bonnet at Stadia. And he cannot believe this idea that people are thinking, Stadia's dead, Stadia's going to die. And so he goes on this real diatribe from the perspective of a developer who, A, has worked with the Stadia engineering, himself is a software engineer, so recognizes good engineering. He's not some random guy who played a game once. He is a software engineer, recognizes the level of technology and intelligence and sort of the level of software engineering that's gone on, plus all the support that he was given to get his click-to-play demo onto Stadia from someone who didn't even really know what Stadia was in such a short space of time. So I'll play this for you briefly. John does a great job of giving it context, but just this is just a flavor.
They were focused on getting the job done and getting the job done right. And I give them immense credit because the Stadia port stuff came out of really nowhere back in April. We didn't have a lot of time to work on this. And to their immense credit, they dropped everything for me, helped. They answered. There was a point where I was asking just the stupidest questions, and they were not stupid questions because it was something about the platform that was poorly designed, or that it was something that they had done wrong. I was asking questions because I was moving at such a breakneck speed. I didn't have time I did not have time to do things properly, in the sense that I didn't have time to read the documentation properly, that I was scatterbrained, working crazy long hours.
Let's just get another little bit here. See
myself to them. They got it. We had literally one meeting where we talked about, why am I doing the Outbreak Shades of Horror playable teaser? And after that meeting, I felt like everybody in the room got it. And they were just like, holy shit, this is a good idea. They wanted to do it. And we found a unique way to leverage unique Stadia technology for it. We leveraged the click-to-play demo. We have a click-to-play demo on the Kickstarter page for Stadia right now. You click the link on the Stadia page and you're playing the game in 15 seconds.
That's no downloading, no installing.
Exactly, John. Anyway, you can either watch the whole stream from Evan or watch the summary from Fourscars Gaming. I highly recommend it. Evan really goes off on one. He's quite a character and it's quite funny to watch, but certainly the passion that he has, knowing what he knows from behind the door, as it were, from inside, working with Stadia, working with the engineers there, bringing a game to Stadia and all of that. He goes in hard on all the naysayers and all the negativity that he sees about Stadia based on the context that he has seen behind the door. And I think it's really interesting to hear the perspective of somebody who's working with Stadia and what they make of it and what they make of the nonsense that we often see written about Stadia or talked about Stadia in, the likes of Reddit and whatnot, and not just Reddit. I pick on Reddit. You big bully, Clive. Well, Anyway, there you go. I highly recommend that you check that out. It's really, really interesting. And as I say, he's a great character. And if you haven't backed the Kickstarter, then certainly check it out. Let's get this game. Look, I've no doubt the game's going to come to Stadia anyway. The earlier game is coming to Stadia. Let's get the new one to, Outbreak Shades of Horror. I really enjoyed the demo, even though the demo was created just to give a sense and flavor of what the game may be. I really enjoyed it. I know some people didn't, but I really liked it. I thought it was really good. and interesting and sort of intriguing. And I like the challenge. I saw some people going, you die too easily when you get affected because you stand by, but that's, you've got to use your brain. You've got to kind of, think quick, find the clues quickly, then come away from the sort of the zombie so you don't get, contagious or something like that and stuff like that. And I found it, it takes a bit of a trial. You have to search lots of where, but it's you have to search quite hard, but it certainly gives you a sense of what the game will be like. And I, for one, am looking forward to it. So, yeah, I haven't backed, I'm not a hypocrite. I haven't backed the Kickstarter yet, but that's because I've been away on holiday. I'm back now, and now I'm just a case of choosing which level I'm going to back it at. So I will be doing that, just full disclosure, within the next week or so when I just get myself all sorted. Right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see what you lot have been saying in chat. Now I'm going to hit this button here, but I have a feeling chat won't pop up because it never does. Oh, there we go. There we go. Sort of at the bottom. It's sort of at the bottom there, isn't it? Anyway, it will catch up. It will catch up. Let's see what you have been saying. Right. Now, this is Primo Yonic was saying, this is because I said about these new features. I don't say I said think big. I said try to think from the perspective of Stadia in terms of how to get more players trying Stadia. How do we get more people to try Stadia? What are the barriers in the way? Yeah. How can we build on the success that we've already seen in terms of things like, as Evan said, click to play, just literally click to play a demo. Can you make that even more friction free? I mean, that's like I say, imagine if you could buy a game, not just try a game, but maybe just buy a game without initially signing up. But just, I think it's building on what they talked about at the Google for Games Developer Conference, especially around the links. Yeah. Making the links, because they talked about, first of all, they set up game landing pages so that you had a nice URL link that took you straight to the game page, not sort of straight to stadia.com front door and then you sign in. They got rid of that. Then they had playable demos with just the link. And the purpose of that is so you can then have the link and then share it on social media, on YouTube or whatever it is. And I think they're going to build on that, because I think that's how you get people trying things, it's not just Capcom, who are doing a demo of Resident Evil Village. Stadia could do that as well, as they are doing demos, but they can make that even more friction free, or even outside the Stadia environment, as it were, if that makes sense. Or you don't even realize you're in the Stadia environment initially, and then later you kind of realize, wow, these things play so well. I'm interested in Stadia. That's what I'm thinking anyway, personally. Hey, Mr. Bayram plays. Too bad no Callisto Protocol. Well, yeah, that is bad. Not bad, but it is unfortunate. Sure, we'd like to have every game on Stadia, really, wouldn't we? Christopher Torres is listening, of course. Can't wait for Heartlands. Who else is looking forward to Heartlands? I hope it lives up to the expectation. Mr. Bayram plays the same. Cyberpunk 27 1.6 hype. We're getting a new update. Purple Haze is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Good to see you, Purple Haze. Purple Haze, I have to say, is not only very insightful, she does amazing interviews with various people from the gaming community and from the Stadia community. And rumor has it that there is an absolutely amazing interview coming up on her show with an incredible guy that you're going to have to check out a bit later, but I'm sure she will share that when she's willing. But I've heard he's a very interesting person. ER Gaming, how are you? From Space should, yes, could be this month. From Space. Let's hope so. I think it is it's the end of this month, Crow. I think they announced it coming at the end of this month, end of September. So yes, it is this month. Bud, how are you? Hope everyone is enjoying the holiday. Presumably that's in Canada where it is Labor Day. Happy Labor Day, Canada, spelt with a O-U-R, the correct spelling, of course. ATT Lounge at PAX is inviting visitors to pull up a seat and play Stadia games. You're right, IOG, Internet of Games. You are right. I saw that. I did see that. Which is good to see. Now, is this particular... I'm just having a quick look. To see if there's any free passes. Yeah, AT&T have been, doing pro passes and stuff like that. It was good to see them still supporting Stadia. Obviously, they had that. They were one of the first people to use. I just read the word white label, which gets on my nerves. The streaming tech for control and stuff like that. But it's good to see that they are continuing to support Stadia, use Stadia to show off their tech as well. So that's really cool. Yoshida. Kombawa. Bud. Flag for copyright. What's that? Stadia Nation. It's a great video. Talking about the Evan video here. It is a great video. I love the way how he lays it all out with his experience of the Stadia state. Absolutely. He lays out his background from software engineering and all of that. He lays out the support he got getting the game. Plus he talks about the tech. It's really interesting. Highly recommend it. How are you? Hey, Yoshida. Again. I enjoyed it once. I picked a pencil and paper and put it beside me. Stadia outright games, QR codes on cereal boxes. Why not? Can you imagine you do that and you're playing straight away? Hey, Jay. Purple Haze is in the house, as we said. The last major update for Cyberpunk 1.6 for the DLC in 23 will be announced tomorrow. Thank you. Okay, so look out for that, ladies and gentlemen. Cyberpunk version 1.6 is the last update, according to Internet of Games, the last major update for Cyberpunk version 1.6 before the DLC in 2023. More announcements, so look out for that, and that's coming tomorrow. So well worth noting that. Immersion stream. Thank you. My brain went dead again, Jay. That's what I meant. Notification is posted on YouTube. Presumably that's, let's have a look. Have you tweeted it? Let's have a look. It's an amazing guy. If I put in Purple Haze, I get Jimi Hendrix, don't I? There we are. Oh, look at that. Scheduled. It's scheduled, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Look. Ninth of September, ladies and gentlemen. Shades of Purple, episode 24 with the one and only me. Yeah. I did my best to be succinct, but I failed miserably. But hopefully you'll find it really interesting, absolutely delightful to be interviewed by the wonderful and extremely knowledgeable Purple Haze. Very knowledgeable when it comes to current gaming industry and cloud gaming world, put it that way. Very knowledgeable, very enlightening. A lot of respect for Purple Haze. Great interview. Check it out later this week on the 9th of September. There we go. Haven't tweeted it yet. Well, I've shouted all about it on the show now, so it's too late. Purple Haze, absolutely too late. I've gone and made it public, blurted it out. So there we go. Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's all the chat and everything. I think we're all up to date and everything there. As I say, we've got a few announcements coming up from some major publishers, obviously the Ubisoft one, obviously Heartlands, maybe more news about Assassin's Creed Mirage. Whether that is coming out next year, don't know, but it's another massive AAA game that'll be coming to Stadia. Interesting to see what they do with it, or whether it's coming out in 2024. Something to look forward to on Stadia as well. So all these things to look forward to. Keep your eyes peeled, because these various events around the world, gaming events, whatnot around the world, are going on all the time. Well, not all the time, but currently there's a whole swathe of them going on during September, and we might or might not hear Stadia-related news from them. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, a shortish show really, but forgive me, I've been on holiday. And all of that, if I hadn't mentioned it. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. I'm sure we're going to have some Stadia news this week, of course. Enjoy your gaming week. Enjoy your game. What's up, Balls for Life? We're about to go. Good to see you, Balls for Life, in the chat. As I say, a final reminder, if you haven't already done it, hit the likes, because I like it. YouTube likes it. And helps people like you find great content like this. And if you are new here, because we do get them, whether you're watching live or watching the VOD, watching it later, please subscribe. There's plenty of people who watch this who haven't subscribed. So do me a favor, please subscribe, and then you'll know when I'm going live with this kind of stuff. But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful, wonderful week. And I'll see you same time, same place next week, ladies and gentlemen. Au revoir.